Hello, welcome back to 10 at 10. My name is Michael Ramage. I'm the director of the Cyber Education Research Center here at Murray State University. And welcome back to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Grow West, the Technology Council of West Kentucky, KY Innovation, and our local partner, Sprocket Innovation in Paducah, and the Kentucky Innovation Station in Madisonville. A couple of weeks ago, we started talking about ransomware, things that are changing, the trends that are changing in ransomware and what that means for other common attacks and what other attacks are increasing or decreasing, and a little bit about what that looks like as we end 2022. And then next week, I want to talk about some of the basic things that we can do to address these changes and how to think about an overall comprehensive program for our organization. So we talked about ransomware, the goal of business email compromise that we talked about last week. The goal of these attacks is for these criminal organizations to make money. Their goal is to make money. As horrible and despicable as it may be to us, their goal is to make money. Just like any gangs of traditional gangs, the Sopranos that you see on TV, the Godfather, whatever these glorified criminal organizations have been in the past, these criminal organizations of the present and going forward want to make money as well. So they are adapting, they are adopting new styles, they are changing the way they operate so that they can, at the end of the day, make more money for the criminal organization. Just like you would adapt as a business trying to sell a product in a crowded marketplace, they're trying to adapt so that they can make more money. It's horrible. It's bad. And sometimes even hard to think about it in those terms, but that's the reality that we live in. So today I want to talk about account takeovers. Account takeover is the concept that somebody's going to take over your account. Very simple. I mean, it's very simple in its basic terms, but it can get very complicated as well. So a little bit about how account takeover has typically happened, and there's a number of ways that this can happen. Is that some website gets their login database stolen. So here's some from the last few years. Actually, these were all during 2020, just during 2020. Zoom was used a lot during 2020. They had their database stolen. Microsoft. There's a bunch that are on here. The point of all these are these databases get stolen. They get published on the dark web. Attackers will go grab these databases and then compare those logon credentials to anybody else that has that password. So then they can log into that password, or knowing that your email was stolen or your account was stolen out of the Zoom breach, for example, an attacker may launch an attack, may email you to your Zoom account saying, hey, this is Zoom, your password was compromised. Click here to change your password, to create a new password. It will create the new password. Let me back up. The cyber criminal will have a splash page. You'll type in your information into the splash page. The attacker will send that information on to Zoom, reset your password like you should, but then also store that password. So now they have stolen your account credentials and they can take over that account. Account takeovers, can take it even to another level where once they have your login and password, maybe they even change the email address or the username so that you no longer can even get into that account. So you're locked out. And if you click on to reset your password, it's going to email a different email account altogether. And they have completely locked you out of that account. Your information's still in it. Maybe your password, maybe your credit card information, your banking information is still in there. And now that cyber criminal owns that account. You do not. Now, it doesn't have to be that exhaustive, but every account that you have has value. So let's look at a little bit of the trends. They increased account takeovers increased 307% between 2019 2021. Losses increased 90% in 2021 alone, totaling 11.4 billion. 22% of adults have been victims. That's 24 million households. A quarter of identity related fraud in North America was related to an account takeover. One in 40 login attempts during early 2021 holiday season was an account takeover attempt. 64% of passwords exposed in 2021 breaches were reused. You have heard me talk about on here a ton. Don't reuse passwords. A fourth of U.S. adults, consumers experienced identity theft in 2021. 24% of victims with account takeover fraud had contact information such as email address or phone number changed after the incident. So it's everywhere. We have to be uber careful. We have to be extremely careful. Do not reuse passwords. Be alert. Keep an eye out for databases that are breached. If we get an alert or you read in the news that your provider was part of a database breach of a user name and password breach, we got to change our passwords. So what accounts matter? If the accounts matter, which ones matter? Your email, your social media, your digital storage, your gaming, your business services, online shopping. If I could steal your Amazon credentials, then I could order on your Amazon account and just have it shipped to my address. That obviously is illegal, but that's something that, so it's not just banking information, it's reward points. Reward points have value. Streaming services, if I could stream off of your Netflix, then I could save $100 a year or whatever the cost is. I think it's more than that. Virtual currency, photo storage, all of these things have values. If you're playing a video game online, an online, multiplayer game, and you've spent hours and days upping your information to get a new character or buying virtual currency, whatever it is for that game, to get new skins for your character or to earn credit in that game, there's a value to that. There's a value to that. And that means it's sellable online. So you have to be super careful. So what can we do? Set steps to prevent account takeover. And I won't spend a lot of time on these because we've talked about a lot of these before, and we'll talk about a lot of these again. Don't ignore signs of possible attack. Utilize two-factor authentication. Enhance your organization's password policies. And even authenticate your organization's app. Even if it's just an app, authenticate it. And let me bring this down to the very basic things. All of those things are complicated. So if there is one thing that you can do or two things that you can do, you got to have a strong and unique password. No matter where you're using it, a strong and unique password. This weekend is tomorrow's New Year's Eve. If you're making a New Year's resolution this year, I would challenge your New Year's resolution to go through and make sure that you have a unique password for every account that you have. If you have a strong, unique password, then you don't actually have to change it every 6 months or 30 days or 90 days. If you have a 16-character password that is unique for each account that you have, do not reuse them, then you're golden unless your account is the victim of a database breach, of a login credential breach, password breach. If that happens, then you have to change your password. Otherwise, if you can make one cybersecurity resolution this year, strong, unique passwords. I would encourage you to do that. Two-factor authentication would be the second one that I would encourage. For every account that you can use two-factor authentication, I would encourage you to do that. That way, if they do steal your password, if a bad guy does steal your password, then they still can't get into your account unless you click the alert that's on your phone or on your computer, unless they have that second factor. That'll help you stay a little bit safer. And next year, I would encourage you to really think about passwords and strong, secure passwords. Um, I hope you found that helpful. Next week, as we begin the new year's, we'll talk about some strategies, some larger strategies to think about for keeping our organization safe. Thank you for joining today. Enjoy your holiday weekend. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week back here on 10 at 10. Thank you. Bye.